Good evening, welcome to Board Game Goat. I'm Loxley, Satyr of Strategy and the Board Game Goat, and would you believe we are broadcasting all the way back to 2 weeks ago when I definitely would to replace me from being ill. So if all's going well with Bianca's time machine, it will in fact not be November 2nd, it will be, when we were originally meant to do this?
This would have been October 19th.
And we're definitely streaming to October 19th. This is what you've agreed.
Yes. Yeah. We are definitely streaming on October 19th.
Okay, not a problem.
Do not question it.
Do not question it at all.
Please do not look at the clocks or you'll create an anomaly.
Thank you for coming on. I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to this game, despite the fact it is like this is going to be a fascinating one to talk about. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I have lots to say. I mean, time travel is always good. Worker placement is amazing. It's genuinely one of my favorite board gaming genres. But I'm liking how time travel is implemented into this. How are you doing? Do you need to time travel anywhere at the moment?
I really would have liked to this morning if I had. I need to time travel and get a new pair of a new dress. Actually, I had a bit of a situation this morning where I was heading to an orientation for work, and my dryer failed to dry my clothes in time, so I had to settle with what I had. So I grabbed a pair of pants, but as soon as I climbed into the car, a large hole ripped into them.
Oh no!
Since I was late and all, I didn't really have the option to go back and change, so I just had to go through my orientation with a big hole in my thigh.
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
It was okay. Everyone was very understanding about it, so ultimately I didn't lose any slack with my work, but...
That is good. It is important to have an understanding workplace.
It would have been nice to be able to pull a not ripped pair of pants from the future, or perhaps a nice dress.
Yes. Well, on the plus side, like at least the only way is up from this point.
Yes.
Dear me. Right. So, but I mean, you know, if we just send yourself a message from today to make sure that you check your dryer, and it'll be fine.
Just. Not just give myself a dress in the future, but get a working dryer as well.
Yeah, there is that. So today we are playing, I'm going to go to the screen, we are playing Anachrony, and can't you just tell this was a Kickstarter game?
Was it? I don't actually know.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a Kickstarter game, and there is a certain level of rules that you can kind of see when Kickstarter game comes in, because there are a lot of components. There is a lot of like board game grammar that's happening here. The Infinity Storm, thank you very much. Welcome to the table. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Oh yes, hello Infinity, welcome. That would be my friend. Ah,
excellent. I'm afraid not. No commands here in the barrens of YouTube. We just here we chat like chat like kings. I don't know. I'm not sure where that sentence was going from. Sorry, I just realised, Bianca, do you want to introduce yourself? Because I don't.
Yes.
Like plug yourself. Plug your shit. We've exposed your embarrassment, and now I completely failed to plug yourself.
Well, there's the understanding of this is not my first time on the channel, so
it's very true.
Forgiven a bit to not realize to introduce me, as even though it has been a while since the last time I was here. But yes, I'm Bianca Duba, the Jackal Astrologian. I tell fortunes through the tarot and through the star charts beyond.
Oh.
And so, predicting the future is not something I'm unfamiliar with, but traveling to the future is a bit of a different experience.
Well, there's a lot of traveling to the future in this. We are in a world where I guess the worst has happened is currently happening. Or at the very least, we know exactly the day it's gonna go wrong. It's about here. It's this very obvious symbol that looks like a meteorite hitting something at speed.
Very appropriately referred to as the impact.
The impact, yes. So we are, as our societies, trying to evacuate people to our bases. Everyone has a path, a philosophy that they are following, and the group that is able to extract people most effectively will be chosen as the one dominant path of humanity going forward. To do that, we're going to have to gather resources, we're going to have to send workers out. But, you know, things have already gone pretty bad because you can't actually leave your bunkers without going into exosuits. And with the Kickstarter version of this, you got very fancy, like, plastic chunky mechs. And I was kind of surprised they didn't add those into the Tabletopia version, which is a shame. But you can kind of see what they would look like. So these so I've got these very nice lion sphinx type ones. Bianca as they're the aliens from the Fifth Element, are they?
Are they?
I mean, they look like it. I think.
I believe the intent of my guys were more meant to be mole people.
That would make sense because you're the path of salvation. So we kind of allowed Tabletopia to select for us a little bit because we can't actually move some of the board components, and for a pure visual standpoint, it made more sense to make sure that we weren't having to like spin the camera constantly. So I am going to be playing the path of progress, led by Patron Valerian, who is just absolutely rocking this weird cyberpunk cyberpunk Renaissance getup, which is just kind of fascinating.
Very, very dukish.
Yes. And then
Cyberduke, if you will.
Cyberduke, yes. I feel that is his title. I feel like he refers to himself as the patron, but secretly Valerian refers to himself as Cyberduke Valerian. I think this is my headcanon for this character now. Also, I quite like that he and I have very similar styles of hair.
Oh yeah, he's got that side shave going.
Yep,
as well.
I mean the undercut. You know, it's how you know you're in the future.
It was made popular by Blade Runner. It is kept ever since.
Blade Runner has a lot to answer for. And then tell me about your person.
So I will be following the path of salvation, led by our good friend here, Shepherd Karatakis. Kind of the more of a passive sort. They're kind of I'm accidentally switching my board over here on accident.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Too happy with my scroll wheel. Or more kind of the mechanically mole people. It's whole board, all over this board. It's just looking like we live underground. Very metallic, junky kind of society. I almost got it. You can see this lovely little wrench thing he's got there.
I do like his spanner. That is a really good.
That's a really cool spanner.
Like I love the completely unnecessary electronics around the teeth. It's like they're not doing anything.
It's all for show, but we're not going to say that.
Well, no, he's got a spanner. He will hit you with it.
I particularly like that our two characters are very different flavors of cyberpunk.
It's true, yeah. Speaking of different flavors of cyberpunk, I was very disappointed not to be able to play as Captain Wolf, who apparently has come as a leather daddy. And, like, not helped by the fact that this is the path of dominance. Like, I mean, you have come from the that Mad Max cyberpunk dystopia where everybody wears a lot of leather.
Captain Wolf over here, when he stops at the airport and they ask him if it's for pleasure or business, he's both. He says both.
Next time I will be playing Captain Wolf. Captain Leather Daddy. Next time I will make sure I'm able to play that one. But also, like, Cyber Duke Valerian has, I think, one of the easier powers to understand, which is, I think, a plus, because I'm playing this for the first time. Bianca, you have played it a year ago? Weirdly, you played it against... You told me you played it against yourself, because you went back in time, got yourself from the future to teach you, and then you... There are going to be a lot of time travel jokes this evening, by the way. I will not apologize.
I played this a year ago, a number of times. Never as this character, but I was introduced to this game by our mutual friend Luxia. Who is very, very fond of this game.
I can see why. Like, it is absolutely. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of decisions, and I think it does look like it works very well. I think my biggest criticism of it is it does just look like it's got this very expansive grammar where everything needs its own symbol, and then that needs its own cross-reference in the rule book. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is one of those things where like, the first time you play it, it just looks like the most inaccessible thing in the world.
Very much. That was my experience with the first time I played it. It was just very much figuring out what in the world everything meant. But in subsequent playthroughs, I ended up really falling in love with this game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a few playthroughs, and I am looking forward to it. Funnily enough, I was playing with Usabi. I was playing a game called Set a Watch at the weekend, and I think something there actually kind of made me think of this, which was, it seems to be a game that presents you with a lot of choices, and all of them are good, and it's really, really hard to work out what is the most optimum choice. And it just presents you with that throughout the game, and it's kind of choose your poison as far as how things are going to go.
It's very much the general experience I've had with this game is at any given time, there are usually about 5 things you need to get done, and you only have time to do 30.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Going with time, once again.
Yep. But we can nick stuff from the future, which is quite helpful. Which we will get into as we go. So we are going to start off. I'm just checking setup to make sure if there's anything else that needs to be set up. Yep, research dice are fine. That's all okay. I think we're actually okay to play. I think it's also the benefit of playing this via Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator or anything else, is that actually you have a lot of the setup done for you, and that just makes a world of difference. Especially
this kind of game. It's actually made me really want to be like, I wonder if there are Fantasy Flight games on Tabletopia, because the worst part of Fantasy Flight games is always the setup.
That is very true. Fantasy Flight, I really like Fantasy Flight games. Hate their boxes. Oh my god, they have one box size, and it doesn't matter if it's like 3 components or 300. It's just like they will just stuff it. It's just that one gully of cardboard,
and it's just it's a absolute joy for anyone who loves sprigs, but
yes,
keeping track of it all is always a huge pain. I know my copy of Arkham Horror actually has like a ton of like little plastic collector tins to actually keep all my pieces in.
That makes sense. Do you know what? I recently got a physical copy of Wingspan, and as far as component, which is not Fantasy Flight, it's Stonemaier, but that is an absolute like. This is gonna be just like people nerding out about board game components, which is either gonna be really up everyone's alley or is like, what is this? But yeah,
Who are these two and what are they talking about?
But it's such a nice like. We had some friends open. I was opening the cellophane, and it was like. I mean, speaking of Huey Lewis and the News, I tweeted out this using lyrics from Back in Time, but there was an actual American Psycho moment where we were all just admiring the paper stock of the instruction manuals.
As soon as you said American Psycho, I knew exactly where that was going. Eggshell.
Should we play a bit of a game?
Yes, let's get into this thing.
Cool. So we are going to start out. Reveal the mine and recruit pools. Reveal a new super project and shift the building stacks. So we don't need to shift the building stacks right now. We are going to flip a super project. Unlock the super project. To be honest, I kind of like the thematicness of the fact you've actually got to actively unlock the super projects.
Yeah, it gives a sense of progression.
So at this, and we move our counters into the time stream. And this is an exo crawler. So we can pay for this with 2 uranium and 3 titanium, and I think it gives us something to do with an exosuit.
I believe it's an exosuit that doesn't need to be powered.
Ah, right. Interesting. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Paradox. We don't have any paradoxes yet. Power up. We power up 0 to 6 exosuits and receive a water income. So, obviously, we have not got our advanced societies can build exosuits, but they can't keep them powered all the time. So we get to power up 3 for free. And then any more besides, we need to actually have power cores. Now, I start with 4 power cores. Bianca starts with 3 power cores. So we can in theory have all of our exosuits going out immediately. That being said, I actually only have 4 workers who can be active right now, and 1 who is resting. So actually, I am going to just have 3 or... Got no engineers. No, you know what? I'm going to go for 4, and I will take an income of 2 water, because if you don't power up any exosuits, you get a water income. So I will take a couple of extra water. And Bianca...
I'm only going to be powering 3, so I'll take a water income.
So Bianca's taking 3 water, and I lose 1 of my power cores, which goes over to the stack.
Actually, I can just...
And then each player may place 0 to 2 warp tiles on the current timeline tile. So we can actually request things from the future. Now this can be things like resources. So we have some starting resources. It can even be workers. You got to pay for them, and exosuits as well. We will have to repay these later, or we will get paradoxes. So we actually need to build time travel devices so we can, because we're sending stuff back right now, but then we'll need to send that stuff back to ourselves, asking for it in future turns. Which is just lovely in terms of design, but does sound like absolute nonsense when you start talking about it.
Well, it's that same sort of that time loop of the idea of if this thing disappears if you take from another timeline, it must actually keep going through it, otherwise you get the bootstrap paradox, where it just kind of created itself.
So I believe we actually keep how many we're spending secret.
Yes.
So I'm actually just going to take all of my tokens into my hand.
How do you put a hand in this game?
So I find that if you maximize this, if you go full screen and then just drag it to the bottom of the screen, but I find it tends not to work as well if it's just
I just seem to be pushing them out into the void.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. Well, I just won't look at yours. Because.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you got it.
I figured out how to do one at least.
Okay. Well, just do that several more times.
Hopefully, I can figure out how to pick up those ones I put into the void.
I think they're just going to be further down. So warp.
I'm gonna actually. I need to check something before I make my call on my warp.
Oh, also, did we choose who was first player?
No, we didn't. I don't think.
That's whoever has traveled through time most recently, right?
That's a good question.
It's the player who has most recently had deja vu becomes first player.
That's. I do not believe. I believe when we played Luxia, I did not actually mention that part, mostly because Luxia's skeptical on the concept of deja vu.
That is reasonable.
Let's see, shift. I just want to glance at a reference. Feel free to determine who should be first. I'm just looking something up in the reference sheet real quick.
Okay. Doopa-doopa-doo.
I don't recall hearing.
You know what? I'll tell you what. You go first because you actually know what you're doing.
That's a relative statement.
Oh, I mean, well, much like time.
As I'm currently quickly flipping through the manual to try to remember things about how to play.
So I get one extra water because I'm going second, because you get players, the clockwork orders to get, first player gets 0, then 1, fourth player gets 2. So just a little bit of balancing right there.
Balancing there. Alright.
Okay, and I am going to ask for... You know what? I am ready to go with something. So if you grab from your hand and hold it, then we can reveal secretly simultaneously, because I think if it's in your hand, because you should not be able to see the token I have chosen right now, if I understand correctly.
I'm trying to find this reference before I decide what I'm actually going to do for a warp. I'm trying to figure out a specific thing. I don't want to say because I don't want to show my cards too quickly, but I'm struggling to find where it is in the book. The problem is if I explain what I'm looking for, you're going to immediately know what I'm doing.
I am flattered that you think that that knowledge will benefit me in any way.
I found what I'm looking for. Cool.
Marvelous. I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a quick look at.
We did not actually explain the our endgame conditions.
No, that's very true. Would you like to explain yours first?
Both the actual main endgame conditions, but also our individual ones. In terms of the I don't know if you want to explain the primary endgame conditions up at the top.
So the primary endgame conditions, I believe, are. Yes. Sorry, I do understand. Yeah. So we'll get bonus points at the end of the game for fulfilling these conditions. The player who has travelled furthest back in time, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the player with the highest sum of time travel ranges at the end of the game receives 3 victory points. The player with the most occupied building spots at the end of the game, and that actually includes anomalies and super projects, so just stack up on anomalies. The players with the most workers at the end of the game, the player with the most water at the end of the game, and the player with the most super projects at the end of the game.
And then in turn, for us to get off of our planets, we will have some unique conditions that we will need to achieve. And I flip keep flipping my thing again. Oh, it's just decided to not anymore. There we go. I believe mine is saying I need to have 3 yellow buildings built. I believe is saying.
Yep. So have 3 power plants.
3 power plants, and then I need to pay 1 of the what is the purple? Neutronium.
Timonium.
One neutronium, I believe, for each worker. I need to get.
Well, actually, it's no. Just your evacuation action is worth 3 additional victory points for each neutronium you have when you evacuate. So it's just stockpile neutronium and fill out your yellow slot. For the path of progress, I am aiming to have 3 labs in order to evacuate. And then my evacuation is worth 4 additional victory points for each set of 1 breakthrough and 2 scientists you have when I evacuate. So basically, I want to get a bunch of scientists, a bunch of breakthroughs, which also probably works towards both having most people and the most super projects. We'll see.
And I have now selected my work.
Okay, I have also selected a thing. So you are getting a neutronium. I am paying a water for an engineer. An engineer is being hurled back in time. And I believe comes
water bottles.
Indeed, yeah. Water, of course, being the most important thing in the far future, and definitely the future, and not anything to do with modern day.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Not at all.
Nope. Anyway, shall we? You are first player.
I am first player, so.
So I think you need. Do you have like a little stand thing to mark that you're first player?
I believe that means for the way that we actually work is we I blocked myself. Unlock please. I know we have to place our. I believe I set myself here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
because I believe also anybody who goes to these spaces will, or at the very least the left space, will get first player.
Yes. So you can pay 2 water in order to usurp my spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go through my series of things I need to do. We've done our refill, paradox, action rounds. There we go.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly look at what the various buildings do. So I believe most of it's like drop things down a hole. So drop water down a hole and get a gold. I think that is. Drop a uranium and a water down a hole to get a victory point and a neutronium. Put somebody in here to get 3 water. Not sure what that other one does.
Which one?
The second one on blue. The one on top of the stack. So I'm looking at the buildings.
Oh, the buildings. Oh, yes. Okay. That's what you're talking about. Oh, gosh. These are always it's water supply. Yeah, that's the... If you use a worker, that's just get 3 water for putting a worker there. I don't. That's because that's the picture of the supply. So from the supply, get.
Oh, wait, you know what it is? You know what it is? It's relating to...
Oh, yes.
That is actually a really good one. So basically,
that's a really
some of the workers are sleepy and they need to be woken up. And you can either do it by cracking the whip, in which case morale goes down, but it makes it cheaper to like be nice to them later. Or you can be nice to them and give them actual water. And that, I believe, looks like you can refresh your workers for half of the actual cost.
Yes, that is a wonderful card.
And then we also have drop anything for a victory point, or put a worker here for a water and a victory point. And then we've got travel back in time 3 spaces, or put a scientist here to travel back in time 2 spaces.
Ah, yes, and here's our crazy rotatey thingy. All right. So I'm at the point I need to start putting workers deep. For the first part of the action one, main phase, place 1 worker on an empty space of the player's own player board. So this is where we have to start loading our workers into our mechs.
Yes.
We're not placing the workers onto the board just yet until we actually have them. So
I
guess I could take 1 action to put them in the mech and then put the mech on the board in the same with the second action.
Yeah, do you have 2 actions per round, I suppose?
Yes. I'm trying to remember how to build. Oh, so yellow, this little spot is where we put if we want to build buildings, if I remember. Or... oh, right. Okay, that's where we get the cost. The cost is on our board.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm just trying to remember.
It is absolutely fine, buddy. This is a complex game. I am enjoying learning about it, but you know, it's the first game that I've played, so you know, it doesn't really count. And yeah, it's all good. We're just having some fun.
Right. So I do know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my first action to put an engineer in a mech. I will then take that mech and place it onto the building area.
So I think it's actually you would place your worker, and then on your next turn you would place a thing, if that makes sense. Because I think it's like on your you may perform any number of free actions, then do one of the following.
Ah, yes, okay.
So it doesn't really matter in this particular instance, but it does mean that as we go further, then we get more opportunities to actually
jump.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then what are the free actions? That's.
I think it's anything that has just like an empty space in it. If I recall correctly. Let me have a quick look. Of course this isn't searchable. That would be too easy. I think it's just anywhere that you don't have to... Ah, yes, that's right. There's anywhere where you don't actually have to place a worker. So I don't think we currently have any free actions.
I have... My character has a free action, I believe, here. Is my gain 2 water in a trade for an anomaly or a paradox.
Yeah, so it's any one of these circle symbols. So in fact, cracking the whip is also a free action, whereas you actually need to send a worker to distribute water to refresh your sleepy workers.
Yes. What is the... Oh, and then if it has an eyeball, if anything that has the little eye marker means the worker is not exhausted afterwards.
That is correct, yes.
Yes, that is. I recall that now. All right. So I've placed my engineer into my mech, and that is my action.
Cool. I am likewise going to place an engineer into a mech. And
now I will properly claim that spot there. wherein I will then be claiming that water.
Yeah, that's just annoying.
It was just. It was
No,
just,
it's a very good. It's a
that
very
was
good.
too good to not pass up.
Absolutely.
And that would cost one titanium.
Yes. So I just need to make sure I know what each row means. So it is. What do the different rows mean? It's because yellow I think is time travel, but is that also science?
Yellow is time travel. In general, the gray is manufactories. The blue is mills, I think, like water production, and then the red is science.
That would make sense because I know that I've got 3 for red. So, is there anything particularly good for red? Oh wow, you can just murder a person to get 7 water. Because you got the friendly one, which is the eye. I stay awake. I'm very energized by doing this work. Or you've got the arrow to the skull, which is I'm definitely dead.
I don't like the implications of that. Are you just butchering someone for water?
Apparently. Right, so that gives me... So this one gives me water for free. This one gives me water in exchange for a thing. What do I need to do for this? Okay, so... I have already made a mistake. Okay. We'll work it out. I'm going to put a scientist in one of my mechs.
Oh, and then I have to remember. I've realized I forget how the mine works.
I believe you go to the whichever space you want, and you get the item to the right as well as
Whatever's at the top, yes.
I think you get to. Do you not get to choose?
I think on the left you have to take what's at the top, whereas in terms of the spaces you get what's on the right.
Okay, that makes sense.
I believe that's how that works. So it creates a priority. Regardless, I will be placing a scientist into a mech.
Oh no, it is one resource of your choice.
Okay, so you get to pick your own choice from both. Cool.
Yes. So yeah, and if you use an engineer there, they are kept motivated. I have a quick question I need to answer. With the super projects, do you just pay the cost on the card, or is it also you need to pay for the slots it's covering?
I do not remember. I believe you have to pay both.
Okay, because that's quite a lot.
They are super projects.
They are super projects. Let me quickly look, and we will continue to chat. My resource build, because it's part of the construct action, isn't it? Build a super project. Focus to be changed. Ignore the costs printed on the spots and instead pay the costs indicated on the super project itself.
Excellent.
So actually, that's a rather inexpensive super project.
Oh. I did look it up what it actually does.
Yes, it gives you a free mech.
The worker gets to be put in the exosuit and placed on the board all in one action.
And it's actually a free action, so it doesn't even count towards your placing a worker in a space.
Yes. I think. I mean, the exact wording for the action: you may place one of your workers in an exosuit on a hex or hexable slot on the main board and take an action there.
Well, do you know what? I think I would like to send my engineer off to the mines. And I would like to get myself a neutronium.
I think that's uranium. Neutronium's purple.
and titanium.
All right.
Unfortunately, there is not really an easy way to avoid anything in particular to prevent you from getting what you need eventually.
Yes. Likewise, I will be sending my researcher to the mines, where they will then. I will be grabbing a titanium. And I will also grab a uranium. Oh, I don't have a slot to track uranium. So
I think you can just steal it from something.
Well, there's like the nice little trackers here, and I just
I think if you go off to the edge of the board, you will probably
I can
find
steal someone's tracker.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, steal from the Leather Daddy. I don't have one for Neutronium. You're the only faction that tracks Neutronium.
I can't grab the tracker for some reason.
You should be able to. It should be unlocked.
It's unlocked. I just can't pick it up. It's just stuck over there.
Whoops.
You can figure out how to get it up.
Give me a second.
Oh, there we go. It's a little finicky.
Yep. I'm assuming you rotate it. Oh, I don't think you can. I don't think I can rotate it.
I don't think you can actually rotate it, so it's just going to sit there.
Amazing. There are some delightful incongruencies with this particular bloody website.
Oh well. Regardless.
Yeah. So that was your turn going to the mine. I am going to send a scientist off to do some research.
And I will place a scientist into a mech.
Well, I need to actually do my research. So I'm sending one research die to the face of my choice, and I roll another. I take a breakthrough tile with the shape and icon shown by the dice. This is probably one of my least favorite parts of this mechanically, because it is very hard to get what you actually want. That being said, this dice is, I believe, already set to the face it needs to be for the project. So I'm just going to roll. Wasn't the one I wanted to do. There you go. I want to roll that dice. And it's a triangle. So I have a triangle with that symbol on it. Which is exactly what I needed.
Yeah, that does satisfy the need.
Is.
And now I have placed my scientist into the mech.
Yes.
So it returns to you.
And I will place my scientist into a mech.
I will take this. It keeps trying to reach into my hand. I will take up this other building slot. Then it will cost me a water.
It will.
There we go, cost of water. Wherein we will then go ahead and pay power play. At the cost of 1 purple and 2 titanium and water.
So you have unlocked the ability to time travel at some point in the future.
I actually will take this one. So, down 1 purple, 2 grays, and water. Cool. Alright.
Unfortunately, it does not actually prevent me from doing what you think it will prevent me from. Because it will still allow me to send my scientist over to the right-hand side of the World Council, because I don't think being first player is that... Actually, no, I do want to be first player. I'm going to pay 2 water. Become first player, in the World Council.
I'll take the extra water.
Wait, what do you get extra water?
Oh, that's only the first time. Yes.
It is only the first time, I'm afraid. Yes. And I will then construct, and because on Valerian's power, all my scientists act as geniuses, I can treat them as engineers for this purpose. So I actually pay 1 less. So I'm going to pay 2 titanium and 2 uranium. And I'm going to put the exocrawler into play. And we're going to do that in my grey column. So I feel that the grey columns are less of a priority. And over to you.
Sorry, what was that? I was looking something up real quick.
I made the super project.
Ah, you made the super project. Excellent.
Yep.
I know. I have no more. Actually, I have. But I don't have any paradoxes yet. So I do not have any more actions.
You could get some. You could get some water for your paradoxes.
I don't have any paradoxes.
No, you could get some water in exchange for putting paradoxes on your board.
Oh yes, I could. You're correct. I mean, I'm pretty. Thanks to that lovely little water plant I found, I managed to build. I'm really not struggling for water right now.
That is absolutely fine. Okay, then I guess I will just send this administrator into an exosuit. They can then go into the first slot of the recruitment bin. And they can... So I can either get a scientist for 2 water, an engineer, and a power core. If I were to get another administrator, I'd get a fancy victory point, or I could get a genius and get everything. That being said, scientists count as geniuses for me anyway, so honestly, I think I might just grab the... I'm really not sure what the... Oh, and actually, I need to stockpile scientists anyway, so... Because scientists may count as geniuses, but geniuses do not count as scientists for the purposes of endgame scoring, I believe.
Yes.
So I'm going to recruit a scientist. And get 2 water. And now I'm out of exosuits. This is a fun, interest. This is actually a genuinely good, fun part of the game of this game, is that you actually need to kind of try and work out your plans and account for how many exosuits you need, which is mildly infuriating in this particular instance, because 1 more exosuit and like maybe I could have built something, maybe I could there's so much that, like, you know, what do I need to do? I could send somebody mining, but instead, no, we are here. So I'm passing. We retrieve the workers. We check for the impact. It's not here yet.
It's clearly not here yet.
I believe all our workers our engineers will still be energized, so that scientist who was masquerading as an engineer because they're a genius. Oh no, sorry, I was stolen your scientist.
My guy. Yes.
Yep, that's your scientist. This engineer who was masquerading as an engineer will stay awake. This scientist will go for a snooze. And this administrator will go for a snooze. And then we flip a new card for the mine. So this time the mine is spitting out an neutronium.
I'll put these back.
And we also need to replace it. We have a neutronium, a gold, a uranium, and 2 titanium. And then these people go away.
Yep.
And we instead have 1 scientist.
Oh, when we flip to 2 engineers instead of 2 scientists.
Yes, we did.
But otherwise the same. Rest in peace if you wanted any administrators.
I mean, I'm doing pretty alright for administrators, honestly.
I haven't needed one yet so far, so...
Okay, so now we go out and also we unlock, move forward in time, and this time we have got the dark matter converter. We definitely don't murder a genius. Well, we definitely don't murder somebody and outspits a genius or a uranium. No, uranium, neutronium. And or a power core. So insert your grim dystopia here.
Yeah. There's a lot of this game has quite a lot of implications on various things.
Oh, it does. It does indeed. It does indeed. Right. I want to send. Well, I only have 3 folks at the moment, and I got a lot of things I probably want to build. What do I have that I can build is the question. And I particularly want to get things that let me build in Sciencey Boys. Are there any good science things? There are some. There are some. Also, oh, I believe also we need to flip over all the cards, because what's available changes with the age.
Yes.
So you could, okay, so if anyone's wondering what the value of a human life is in this game, about a gold.
About 1 gold.
You get slightly more out of a human, but not much. And whoever's throwing the gold into the water vending machine stays awake, as opposed to having the long sleep. There are just some very, very concerning implications.
To say the least, yes.
To say the least. I do need some water production. I do have some gold. That's tempting. But right now I need to mine. So I am going to... I only have 3 folks. So I'm actually only going to charge up 3 of my mech suits.
I'll be charging 4.
Also we can... before we do any charging, I believe we paradox. So the player with the most warp tiles on each timeline rolls for paradoxes. We both have the same. Oh no, that was I thought I'd hit no. I get 1 paradox. Bianca, if you'd like to roll the dice at the top of the board.
Top of the board.
Yeah.
All right. I roll.
There
we go.
And you also take 1.
I also take paradox, which is actually good for me.
That is true. Until it becomes like a full-blown anomaly. That is a problem.
Yes.
Power up 0 to 6 exosuits. And we also get to we'll also get to ask for things from the future.
Okay. I will be taking 2 things this time.
I'm only going to take 1. Because I would just like 1 titanium from the future, please.
I will also be taking a titanium, but I will also be taking an administrator.
Oh, I also take 3 water because I only powered up 3 of my exosuits. And I'm going to take... so I believe we're now into the action phase.
Yes, I believe we are.
So I am going to use my exocrawler to immediately send out my construction worker in an exosuit to construct. And I'm going to construct the gold for water gambit. Yeah, because that only cost me 2 titanium.
I will open up with sending my newly pulled from the future administrator in order to hydrate my people, which will only cost me 3.
Yes, and you also get to improve your morale, which gives you
Morale
victory
improves.
points at the end of the game, and unfortunately now means that they are expecting slightly more, so will in fact take more water, but honestly not much more water, because honestly you
Actually the same because of the half.
you know what, round...
It's rounded up. So it's 5 rounded up to...
Yep, that tracks, that is interesting. Okay, cool. I'm going to send one of my scientists to also wake up all my folks. That costs me... I need to... I'm immediately realizing I'm really bad at this whole planning thing, because I now have 5 people, 2 exosuits, and 1 thing that I can do at the home base. Not saying it's a foregone conclusion, but it's not looking good. That also cost me 5. Just to... Oh wow! So there's one thing that is just one time you get 8 water, at which point is basically I think that's just a pond. You just drain a pond.
Just drained a pond. I'd say sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Uh-huh.
I will be placing a researcher into a ship. Into a mech. And that is my action.
I will place I'll place an engineer into my mech.
I will be sending said researcher to the mines. Grabbing air titanium. And you know what? I need more. No, I need this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I will send out I will send this chef out to mine. And I'm gonna need... what that voice was. I will have some... I need some titanium. I'll take a titanium and a neutronium.
And then I will place an engineer in a mech.
Oh, hang on. Wait, I've just realised I should only have paid 1 titanium.
Because you put an engineer?
Because I put an engineer in the building, yes.
No worries.
Does that change what I want to do? It probably means that I would... No, it doesn't. Never mind. I'm good.
Alright. Well, I placed my engineer in the thing, so it is actually... It is now on your action.
Cool. What is more important to me right now? I think it's more important to me Okay, so we still have scope. I'm actually not too concerned about the top row. Though obviously the top row will become a problem at some point. I'm gonna put a scientist in my mech.
Alright, I'll be sending my engineer. I keep grabbing the hand. No, leave the hand alone. I will be sending an engineer to the building queue. Costing 1 water.
What you building?
We're going to be building one of these lovely little time things.
Okay, I'm assuming that means you can go back in time 3 spaces twice.
Twice?
I mean, with the one that just got revealed.
Oh, the new one. Okay, I thought you meant the one I just grabbed. Yes. No. If you wanted to return 2 things, that would work for my situation here, where I took 2, so I could replace those both in the same turn.
Ah, clever.
If I so desired.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that's cost 1, 1, and 1, and then the last of my water.
Nice. I will send a scientist up to speak to the World Council, and I will spend 1 water for the privilege. I will do that in order to build a thing, which is going to cost me 1 water. 2 titanium, but you know what? Because my wait, hang on. Do I still get the bonus? Do I still get the bonuses for if it's up here? This is without the bonuses, right? If I go to the World Council.
Yeah, you do not get the bonuses.
That's a shame.
I've been completely forgetting that. What are the bonuses for the 2 first bonuses for the building?
There's no bonus here, but it's if you use an engineer, you pay 1 less resource.
Oh, what do these symbols here mean then?
It means you can either build a building or a super project in the leftmost part of your row.
Okay, it's just reminders. Okay.
Yep, cool. Absolutely. Like I say, it is a very good grammar once you get your head around it, but when you first start using it, it is a little bit bewildering. Anyway, I am going to grab
yes, you're building.
I just understand, because what I'm reading here is the word retrieve warp tile without setting focus. Does that mean I just get to reach... This thing basically says, spend a scientist, reach back in time, and pay off your debts.
That doesn't... I think we might want to look that one up.
Okay, I need to look at what the word setting focus means. Because setting focus is specifically a time travel thing.
Yes. What strikes me is that it actually it removes one.
Was it 407?
If it's from the time, it doesn't have to be in the time that you're in.
Return 1 of your warp tiles from a timeline tile to your supply without scoring victory points. So that's what it means. Because anytime you set focus, and then in fact you have this at the top of your sheet, you have this by setting focus. So it is basically, yes, a free pay off your debts, but you do not get to have points for it.
You don't get to have your cake and eat it.
Indeed. I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go for the one that gives me a water at a victory point. For science.
For science. Alright, I will be placing a researcher into a mech.
I will send my scientist to spend a gold to get 6 water.
That administrator. And I will Did you catch what I just said?
Something about administrator.
I was just saying, but I decided to, after thinking about something, I was like, oh wait, the administrator would be a better option for that. So
Absolutely fine. Not a problem at all.
Cool. Just wanted to play the fair game. I will be sending the administrator for recruiting.
Oh.
Where I'm gonna have him grab an engineer for me.
Any particular reason why you would go for the engineer over the genius?
Oh, there are geniuses there, aren't they?
There is a single genius.
I should go for the genius. I don't know why I went.
I'm just saying, a wild card seems to be like the better thing.
It is. I'm not even sure why I didn't go for the genius. I'm curious why it shows the engineer, but then it crosses out the genius when you could just have the genius represent as an administrator, where it doesn't have the symbol.
Let's look it up. Let me have a quick shifty.
And what is that bonus that comes with the genius? It's the question.
You get to choose any of the other bonuses.
Oh, any of the other bonuses.
Yeah. So do you want water? Do you want a car? Do you want the victory point? Nice.
I'll take the victory point.
That's mining. That's recruiting. Recruiting. You can't do it use a scientist. If activated by an engineer, you may not select a genius. Only a scientist, an engineer, or an administrator. So, because it's fine. You sent an administrator there, but if you had sent an engineer, you would not have been able to recruit that genius.
Ah, okay.
Indeed.
So I need it. Oh, good thing I sent the administrator then.
Yep, absolutely. I am also going to send administrator into my science lab to fetch me another water. We're not going to go thirsty.
I will place the researcher.
And also, I get a victory point. Where are the victory points? There's a victory point.
I am just setting a researcher into a mech.
And I believe I pass.
Alright.
I have no resources and I have no mechs.
I am sending a researcher to go retrieve water. So that's 4 water for us. And with that, I will also pass.
Okay, so all of our workers come home. This scientist is gonna go to sleep. This scientist stays awake. This guy goes to sleep. You go to sleep. The engineer stays awake. And this engineer goes to sleep.
It's almost like a bedtime story.
It is. Good night, engineer. Good night, scientist. Good night, administrator.
Not good night, administrator. You could stay awake.
Yep. Right. What do I want to be doing next turn? And also what I want to be prepping. Okay, so we have neutronium, gold, and a lot of titanium. Just go over there.
Happy day for titanium hunting.
Yep. If we still had a global economy, then the price of titanium would be dropping. Unfortunately, since the global economy reverted to basic resources, and in the case of Captain Wolf, just leather.
Leather, pure leather.
Pure leather. Leather is an economic substance in this dystopian future, purely for Captain Wolf.
Purely for Captain and all his cohorts.
Like, Nobody else gets it. Just Captain Wolf, leather.
What else am I to get up to?
Actually, I suppose nowadays, you know, in the enlightened future, it would actually probably be pleather, wouldn't it? But is that less fancy?
They found a way to make it more fancy.
Right. So
That's actually that's a super project later down the line.
fancy pleather.
Fancy leather.
So a continuum stabilizer. What does this actually do? There's a lot of referencing the rulebook in this one. I'm sure it's one of those ones you kind of get used to as time goes by, but at the start it is very much ooh, what is going on? Continuum stabilizer. Immediately when built, return up to 3 of your warp tiles from up to 3 timeline tiles to your supply. Do not advance on the time travel track. So good if you just like really want to avoid the paradoxes, not for points.
Yeah, not for points. Not
right.
really up to my plate. All these super projects have just been like, hey, these really aren't useful to my play style. It's been
I'm seeing that. Right, we both roll the dice for paradoxes on the first. And then you roll it again. So you don't get any paradoxes.
For the first one.
And then you get one.
For the second. Coming up on that anomaly, but we're about to fix that quite shortly here.
That makes sense. You know what? I'm just gonna go. I feel like I only need 3, but I'm gonna risk. Actually, you know what? I've got plenty of water. I'm gonna have all my. No, I'm gonna do all but 1. Then 2 power cores. And I'm gonna have 5 exosuits ready to go. I'm just gonna quickly look at all the things I have available to me.
Oh yes, the trading. That's how that works.
Yeah, so you can trade 3 water into 2 of anything, into 1 uranium, neutronium, into a power core, into etc, etc, etc.
Administrators can trade anything for anything.
Yes.
Right.
But everything else just gets to trade left once.
Yes.
Right, so I am still first player, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, before we do that, we need to do the time warp again.
Let's do the time warp again.
I'm not asking for anything.
I don't think I'll be asking for anything either.
Fair enough.
We keep hands off the time travel for this one.
Yep. So I'm gonna immediately use my exo crawler to load in an engineer, send them to the mines to get me a titanium and neutronium.
Peas. You knew I was going to go for that, didn't you?
Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong space. I want this one. I actually didn't, but I just kind of need. Either this turn or next turn, I need to have a time travel machine in place on my board, so I need neutronium.
Yeah, this is fair.
Oh, I also need to keep that neutronium cube because there is only one. In fact, can we duplicate these? No, sadly not. It would just be useful if that was the case.
We'll just be keeping track the old-fashioned way.
With cubes.
With cubes. Right, that brings it to me. Speaking of time travel, it's time to send my scientist into the past to go back then. Neutronium I borrowed back during turn 1.
Ah,
Which puts
gotta
me
get
on
back to the past. Samurai Bianca.
Samurai Bianca, I gotta get back to the past. Then that is a turn. Or that is an action.
Oh, do you know what? I just realised that actually I completely messed up because my Exocrawler is a free action, so I would also have been able to load something else into something else.
Yes.
I apologise. So I would have loaded a scientist into a mech, and now I will use that scientist into a mech to go and build a time travel machine. But the scientist is actually acting as an engineer, so it costs me 1 water, 1 titanium, and 1 neutronium.
I will be placing my administrator to go put in the water, which will only cost 3.
Nice.
Morale goes up, and everybody wakes up.
Cool. I'm going to... Yeah, you know what? I'm okay losing a bit of morale. I believe I will get that back in future turns. So I'm cracking the whip as a free action. Everybody wake up. Up you get. Come on. Let's get moving. Come on. Let's go. Because what I also want is probably... Cool enough. Actually, I'm going to pop an administrator. Do we update the... We didn't do the... restack the people.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Which is fine. We'll do that now. So we get scientists, people in the future screaming at us.
Oh, I got it.
Cool, thank you. Cool, over to you.
Alright, I'll be placing an administrator. Yes, administrator into a mech.
Cool. I'm going to send that administrator over to hire a person. I'm going to hire a... I'm going to hire a genius. It's a shame. We got a very low count of geniuses this time around. But I'm going to grab a power core.
I'll be sending my administrator to the trading market. Trading 1 exocore, or the power core, for a neutronium.
Nice. I'm actually going to send one of my admins to work the time machine, and I'm going to kick this engineer back in time.
Toss the lad.
Out you go.
Be going with ya.
Sorry, what was that?
Be going with ya.
I also time travel, so I get to get some points for that.
Alright. I'm just going to take the free action now to remove one of my paradoxes. And that goes my free action. And then, what else can I do? So, we'll be putting a researcher into a mech.
Oh, sorry, I also get to take this off the board.
Oh.
Should have remembered that one.
Yes.
Are you still doing a thing, or?
No, I put a researcher in a mech.
Ah, okay. I am likewise going to put a researcher into a mech.
With that researcher, we're going to go get some water.
I am not going to get some water. I'm in fact going to go and get a breakthrough. Now, I honestly don't care what I get. So, I can set one thing. What? I'm just quickly... So, triangle, circle, square, square, triangle, circle. So, it's an equal number of dice. It's basically a D3. And then this is... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to set this triangle to be a circle, and then this can just be rolled, and it is a circuit board, I believe. Now I need to try and... There we go. That's a truly unfortunate series of stacks. I will say this is the one mechanic of this game that really infuriates me, is that you know, you might be stopped from getting one of the things just because you don't have the right breakthrough. I feel like something that's relying even 50% on dice, like, and I know that absolutely you can do this, you can like fix the dice with certain buildings, but something that relies on like a 1 in 6 chance is just not keen.
Yeah. Never a good time on those ones.
I feel like that could have been better worked.
Oh, placing an engineer into a mech.
Nice. What do I want to do? Well, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to... I'm going to send a genius into a mech. Over to you.
We're going to take that engineer and head on over to the mines.
Nice.
Grab the uranium.
I'm going to send this genius and head on over to get some more research. Spend 1 water. Again, I'm going to set this to be a triangle, and then we're just going to roll the dice. And DNA on some triangle. That's lucky that was near the top. Over to you.
I might as well get this done. Gonna send a scientist to put back the titanium that I took from the last turn.
Nice.
Oh. There it is.
I am going to put my scientist into the science lab to produce 1 water and 1 victory point.
I will pass.
I will also pass.
All right.
Nice. Let's bring everybody home. What did you do this to?
I did some trading, grabbed some water, went to the mines.
No, I think I was just a bit perplexed because like I saw and all of your stuff was like everything was my stuff. If that makes sense.
I was just on the outskirts.
That makes sense. That's fair. I think most people are falling asleep.
It's water time, or a bit cracking whip time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm willing to do the cracking of the whip to get people to go into minus points. I feel that's a bad plan. like a bad
Oh,
idea.
Oh yeah, because you did one positive one, and then you went backwards to the normal, to the neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so 2 neutronium this time.
Ooh, like that. We put ourselves up.
And we have 1 scientist, no geniuses this time, but 1 scientist, 1 engineer, 2 administrators.
I want the rest of the uranium.
Oh, yeah, everything else is uranium. Ooh, it's a shame that everything in my labs cost me titanium to build. That's a thing. Definitely a thing.
A bit of a problem.
That'll be fun.
We need to flip our
We do.
super project.
Unlock the super project. Rescue pods.
Oh, just don't even have to do your.
Your base evacuation condition is considered to be completed regardless of its progress.
All right then.
I mean, that's a thing.
That's pretty cool.
That's very useful, my word. Okay then. Well, I have ideas. I'm going to power, considering this is the last time we get to do it, I'm going to power 5 of my exosuits. I actually also realized I think I didn't take my 1 water income. But I'll take it now. I don't think 1 water is going to make a huge amount of difference. And I'd rather, like, if I look back on the VOD later, I'd rather it be, no, I was fine. No, I took 1 too few than 1 too many. And everybody's very sleepy. Let's load some people. And what I'm really gonna want, what do I want? What do I need desperately? Oh, this also gets flipped over. Oh wow, spend a water, you can go back 4 eras.
for the procrastinator in your life.
Oh, also, we both have the same amount of paradoxes, or anomalies, potentially.
So
or we both roll.
Oh, you may read.
I get a paradox.
I do not.
Yeah, kinda hate you. You know what? We are going to pop this in this. Does it have to be like the first... Hang on. Let me just double check, because I think paradoxes may actually have to be like...
Or anomalies.
Anomalies have to be... may place... Because I'm not sure if it's when you build, I think it might have certain rules where it like makes everything more expensive, so you can't just like put it at the end where you don't really care. Paradox phase. Anomalies. Strange, dangerous faults in the fabric. Stop rolling for paradoxes. Return all paradox tokens. Retrieve one of your water tiles from any timeline tile back to their personal supply. I mean, sure. Seems rude not to. Take an anomaly tile from the stack, place it on the leftmost free building of their player board, and I can choose which it goes on if that's tied. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to put it on my water row. But that also helps me quite a bit, to be honest. Wow, really?
It's my group's thing. The more I do, the better. It actually helps me to push warping as much as I can.
Ah, one thing though, I think it's 0 to 2.
Oh, 0 to 2?
I'm afraid so. So I'm also doing 2. Because Ampersand... It actually snaps. If you just hover it within the triangle, it will actually snap there.
Yeah.
Like, there's some really nice touches in how they've implemented this. So yeah, I take the gold and the titanium. I remain first player. So my first thing is I'm going to take a free action to put a... yeah, mining is a high priority for me, isn't it? So I'm going to put an engineer into a mech, send it straight over to get this titanium and this uranium. And then I'm going to send my administrator to spend 5 water in order to wake everybody up. And then it's your turn.
Alright. Start with this. I will be placing engineer in a mech.
Cool. I'll place an admin in a mech.
And I'm going to send that engineer to the mines. Keep
Makes sense.
myself the uranium and the neutronium. Actually, I'm going to have him grab a gold, actually.
Oh, fancy. I'm going to go recruit. I'm going to recruit a scientist.
I would place a genius in a mech.
I'm going to place a scientist in a mech.
I'll be sending the genius to the building area.
Uh-huh. What you building?
I'm going to be building, with the scientist acting as an engineer, I'm actually building this little silver one right here.
Oh, fancy.
So that's only going to cost me 1 titanium and 1 gold.
Nice. I'm going to send my scientist over to build for a water. And for 2 more water, 1 titanium and 1 uranium. I'm going to build this lovely thing, which basically lets me build a send an administrator here and play 2 water to immediately recruit either a scientist or an engineer.
Right.
Over to you.
Alright. I'm going to bring, administrator's going to bring the water around. That is now 4. To boost morale to the maximum.
Oh yeah, I forgot to boost my morale. Thank you for that reminder.
I'll bring everybody up. Back to these folks back over. And that goes to you.
Okay, I'm gonna put a scientist into the thing that lets me pay a gold for 6 water.
go ahead and send my scientist through time to put back the administrator. I picked up way back when.
Makes sense.
So that goes back to my hand. And I gain a time travel boost.
Alright, I need to work out what this next thing means. What is it? 401. Like, I will say, one thing I like is that everything's like numbered, so you can just like quickly go to it in the rule book. The range of your power plants is increased by 1. Ooh, that's fun. Not specifically useful to me, but fun. Right, I am going to pop my genius into... No, I'm not. I'm going to pop my scientist into a mech.
How are we supposed to track the one about who has gone back the most in time?
It's just whoever's got... No, it's the numbers on the bottom. So it's like you currently got 2,
who has the most
5.
potential? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Potential traveling time.
Yep, yep, yep.
Did you go?
Yes, because I put a scientist in the mech.
I will also put a scientist in the mech.
Yes. I'm going to send the scientist out to... Yeah, I'm going to mine. I'm going to mine a lot. And they will stay awake because they are actually an engineer in disguise. So I get 2 neutronium. Why are you... Why is your mech invading my bunker?
Surprise! Declaration of war.
This suddenly evolved into a war game. What the hell?
No, I was just glancing over, like, oh yeah, what's your? I was curious what your anomaly did, but I was still holding my mech, so it just floated over with me.
Well, it's just funny.
Or to just explain what I'm up to.
Like, I know you said the red faction was meant to be aggressive, but Christ.
Oh no, they're not aggressive. Yellow's aggressive.
Ah, fair enough.
Red is actually passive because it's all time stuff.
How is yellow aggressive?
I don't know. It might not be actually. It might have been blue and green who are the aggressive. We may have actually both played the passives.
That's very possible. Good thing.
No. Here's what we're gonna do. It can only be traded among. If you're not using an administrator, it has to be one of the things to its 2 sides. Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
You can go in the circle.
Yeah, administrator can go for anything. Or actually, I think administrator can like do an additional trade. So effectively, you can trade to water to neutronium because you just can go an extra step.
Ah, okay.
Like, I think if we're being real technical.
So I'm going to actually be trading 3 water for a titanium. Yeah, 2 titanium. And that is the action.
Cool. I'm gonna stick this. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stick this scientist into a mech. Not sure I'm gonna do anything with. Not sure I'm doing anything with it. I'm just shoving him in there, hoping for the best.
My scientist has also been mech'd.
Nice. And I will go and run over to just do some more research. We've got a. Hang on, how many do I have? 1, 2. Yeah, this is okay. And I'm just gonna get. You know what? We'll get a square this time. god, the dice is actually transforming in front of my face. There we go. And roll a thing. DNA. Lots of DNA research down in the path of progress.
And we're just gonna go grab some water. Just a quick trip to the store.
And I'm going to stick this genius in to act as administrator, and that lets me just hire a scientist. Pull a scientist out of thin air.
And I will be passing.
Cool. I will send my last remaining scientist into the labs to grab me a water and the victory point. Which is not a bad way to be. Right, everybody comes home. This was a lovely time in which we, in what we will now refer to as the before times.
Yep.
Because time is indeed up.
Where's my last mech? Oh, there's my last mech. Wait, jeez.
Did I get my water for taking this scientist? I think I got... I don't think I got my water... I don't think I got the water as a bonus for taking the scientist.
I'll admit, I'm not the person to ask.
That is very fair. That is very fair. You stay awake. You don't. You stay awake. 3, 4, 5. Ooh, nice. Okay, so this is actually a pretty handy... Wait, did I also pay that water? You know what? I'm going to keep it at 7. And if I'm doing myself dirty, you know what? I'm okay with that. Right. So, clean up, retrieve, workers, check for impact. Yep, it happened.
It has happened.
It done a thing. So, what do we do now? We have impact. Impact. It's all gone wrong. Basically, we flip a bunch of stuff. So,
yes.
We flip this. Oh, look, it went wrong. So we are now trying to evacuate people as part of the cataclysm. So now we can go to... we can go to the evacuation points. We also need to get the collapsing capital tiles, which I think... Are those these?
I think so. I
only have like 3 symbols. I feel like there should be more symbols.
I know we each need 2 to cover up our mechs.
Yes, we do. Because 2 of our mechs don't work anymore. We've got to pay for a bunch of them now. Yeah, these are definitely... Where are the collapsing capital tiles?
These are all crossed off capital things. I think I do remember like one of them.
No, yep, they are. Yep, apologies.
You're good.
Okay, so is there like a particular way we choose these, or do we just set them out randomly? I'm looking at just.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, I see. This is so. Hang on. They've got the symbols.
What does that even mean?
We will look at what they mean in a second. Cube.
Cube. You must hail the cube.
Oh no, there's a. So I watch. I'm a big fan of a board game review show called Shut Up and Sit Down, and I can't remember the context of it, but there was some big economic game, and they were just, and the joke they did was, What's for dinner, Mum? Cubes!
Oops.
Which is kind of the summary of every single vaguely economic worker placement game.
Essentially. At the end of the day.
Right, so what we have in terms of all of this nonsense is we have construct, reduce the we have you can do an additional construct action. You can reduce the cost of the construct action by 1 additional thing this turn. Recruit. You receive a powered up exosuit in addition to the recruited worker. And also, after recruiting worker, move all your workers from the tired column to the active column. So it's basically a free refresh.
Free refresh.
Indeed.
I don't think you get the boosted morale for it, but...
No, I don't think you would. You may set an additional die to the face of your choice when taking this research. So basically, you can get exactly what you need. And also, you may take an additional construct action. You may only construct a super project with this action. If you take it with a genius, you may treat it as an engineer for the construct action. Okay, so that's powerful.
Very, very powerful.
Right. So the impact happened. Refill the mine.
Oops.
What happened?
Oh no, just the impact happened. I was just making that. Oops.
That is fair. Sorry, it's midnight here. Like, time has no meaning, but also like, actually, to be honest, I'm having a wonderful time. This time has
fun.
absolutely.
I don't think I'm going to be winning this game, but I'm glad I finally got to play the bold character. Because
I am not sure, honestly. Like, I think we're both kind of not clear on what's going on. Ooh, welfare society.
The problem I'm running into is you've got me beat on 4 out of 5 of the endgame conditions.
Do I? I mean, I've been trying. Don't get me wrong. I'm stunned.
You got more workers than me, more place tiles than me, and definitely more super constructs than me. I might beat you with water, and I'm definitely going to beat you with time.
That is fair. So welfare society. Do I need to explain what this means to an American?
No. Thankfully, I'm worldly.
I apologize. It's just.
I mean, I was going to say at this point, save for a lack of accent, I'm in many ways more Australian than American at this point.
That makes a lot of sense.
Having an Australian partner will do that to you.
That is very understandable. Also, peoples. So we have a scientist, no engineer, an administrator, and a couple of geniuses.
Ooh, double genius.
Is
that the Apple Store?
Is
that the Apple Store? There's geniuses everywhere.
Oh no. Right. So next we are going to. Oh yeah, paradoxes. We both roll.
Yeah. And we work. Oh no.
I don't have to get anything. I have no paradoxes.
Oh yes. And then
I am a good boy.
I just get the one.
I cannot believe you have not anomalied. It genuinely infuriates me.
That's the wonderful part of this faction is just that they are so good at avoiding them. So you can play dirty with the warp a lot more because of it.
That is absolutely fine. I am powering up 3 exosuits.
I need to think about what I'm going to do. I actually can only power 1 because I do not have any cores.
That is true. That is true.
But that does give me free water, at least. Actually, I keep meaning to ask. I forget what the purple numbers next to the hourglasses mean.
I believe that's the round you do it in. So so phase 3. If you look at the reference.
Oh, okay.
Reference card at the very top.
Okay,
You got game phases, so it's like when it's relevant
just
to
more
you.
referencing. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Just informing me I can't do my cool free action until we're actually into the round.
That is pretty much the case.
That would make sense, since that I can just... That'd be terrible if I got paradoxes and then could just immediately just be like, oh, no I don't. To water.
Okay, I'm going to use my exocrawler for free. Stick a scientist into a suit. Go up to the thing. Get another scientist. And refresh everybody for free. I need to find things for them to do. Oh, sorry, hang on. We didn't warp.
We have been doing the exocrawler wrong.
Oh, really?
The worker has to already be in the mech.
Oh, so I get to assign it as a free
It's
action.
the free action to go to the thing once they're in the mech.
Okay.
Because I reread it and I'm like, that wording has always been confusing me this whole time. And then I kept thinking about it. That's really cheap for something that utility heavy. Because it's pretty cheap. As
Wait,
far
no,
as
that's still right. So I don't get any further actions now, but I still. So my action is put the thing in the person in the thing,
and then the free action is moving it out to go do the thing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
still very much useful. You just don't get that extra action.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Not a problem.
Yeah. It's been bothering me this whole time. Not that I felt like you were cheating me, but just like that. That seems a little unbalanced.
Thank you for pointing it out. That's absolutely fine.
No, I love learning about these kinds of because balance is one of my fun. I love analyzing how developers try to create balance within their games, while still giving the player the satisfaction of I did something impressive. There. Oh, let's see what I'm up to.
Okay.
I think. Wow. What do we have for that? Alright, cool. I'm going to place a engineer into a mech.
Cool. I'm also going to place an engineer into a mech. I'm pretty sure this engineer, because I only have one engineer at this point. I'm pretty sure that this engineer has not slept in about 5 decades.
Hey, when the end of the world's on the line, I will be going on to this first little building step and actually taking advantage of. I'm curious. Curious.
Double build.
The double build. Do I get the discount of the titanium onto both? It's a weird niche example of I could see the ruling going either way.
That is a really good question. I'm going to say yes, because I don't think it's too bad. Also, I realize that I've been treating that as any random thing as opposed to just titanium, so I apologize.
Oop.
We will come play this again, and then we will play this by sensible rules, because I have definitely been cheating just a bit, and for which I apologize.
Oops. Hey, it happens, especially on first-time plays.
Yeah.
All right, and I will be first of all building that last piece of the time travel plant. I'll also be grabbing this science station here for 1 uranium and 1 titanium.
Oh, so you can go back even further.
Yup.
I'm going to go to the mines. I'm just going to pick up a lot of gold. Over to you.
Yep. Since I got the happenstance to save that incredible amount of titanium, I will be sending a scientist to go put that last titanium I have back into the past.
That's my triangle.
Oh, oops! This one. I was close.
I mean, it wouldn't have
Right
made a
material.
huge amount of difference. I think when you saw it in your hand, you would have realised. Actually, no.
I did pick it up, but why is that one glowing?
Oh, did we want to do warp, by the way, this time around?
Oh, we never did the warp, did we?
We didn't. I don't want to do anything, so I'm fine.
I will. And I will actually be doing 2.
Quickly retrofit the concept of time travel.
Get myself some water and another mech, so that I'm not limited to just one this round.
That is fair. That does make sense. Does mean you have to power up one later.
Yes, I do. Probably something I can manage over. Oh, well, in the last round, I'm gonna want to vacuum. Actually, I can't remember if it leaves unresolved at the end of the game.
We'll come to that. Honestly, we will come to that. That is, I think, not the biggest priority. I'm gonna stick a scientist and a mech.
I keep accidentally flipping my board. I'm gonna take this my free action at the moment. Ooh, that's my hand. To take one of these off.
What you taking off?
I'm removing a paradox.
Oh, nice.
Keep myself at that safe. Well, unless I roll the 2. Not much I can do.
Oh,
there.
I'm hoping.
And then I'm also.
Hang on.
I'm sending the administrator over.
I had one more administrator than I thought. I forgot.
Oh wait. So I am refilling the water on everyone, which is because I'm already at max. I just get 2 victory points.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take that second recruit. I'm gonna get a genius. I'm gonna use that genius to get a power core. And I also get a fully powered exosuit as a result of that.
Nice.
Yep, just kind of realised it would be useful to have an additional thing. Over to you.
Yes, I'm thinking.
Sorry, I do not mean to rush.
Oh, no, you're good. Just letting you know what's up. No, that's one thing we can do. Or anything better I could do. Yes, there is actually. I will be putting a genius into a mech.
I'll be putting a scientist into a mech.
That genius is then going to go to the mines. Grab some uranium and a neutronium.
Nice. My scientist is gonna come up here, go on here, roll. But I don't even need to. I'm gonna set the dice to be peoply.
Peoply.
That's peoply. And then literally doesn't matter what comes up. That's a triangle, so triangle and people. And I'm going to use the other power of this, which is I can instantly build a super project for water. 1 titanium, because my scientist gets used as an engine for the engineer bonus. And 2 gold to build the welfare society. Just because, honestly, paying an administrator and a water just seems real inexpensive, honestly.
Yeah. some things. I suppose I might as well, since I have it here. I will be sending a. I'm going to have that researcher put this neutronium back into the past.
Uh-huh.
Improving my time.
I am going to send an administrator into the Welfare Society to improve my morale.
I have nothing. Actually, no. I might as well just get that free gold.
It's true. I think I'm no longer going outside. I think I'm very much focused within my Oh. No, this is somehow flipped this board at some point. So 3 science. So I need another science lab. Okay, that's absolutely fine. But what I will do in the meantime is I'm going to send a scientist into here to get a water and a victory point. Are you passing?
Yes, I am passing.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Just wanted to check. Then I will also send... one of my geniuses can go and be a administrator to get a scientist and an engineer. A scientist or an engineer. Gonna get a scientist. And I will also send an administrator. Not got any gold. That's annoying. I do have. No, I'm pretty sure that should have gone down to. Actually, go down to, and then I'm also going to. You know what? I have plenty of administrators. I'm going to kick one. That's why I keep flipping over. I'm going to kick one into a paradox. So I spend 2 neutronium, 2 water. My administrator gets lost forever, and this that paradox anomaly. I feel like paradox. I feel like paradox sounds worse than anomaly, but maybe that's just me.
Anomaly definitely sounds worse to me.
That's fair. And I think I have no gold. Can I send people back in time just for the point bennies, or do I actually need to do something?
No, I believe you do need to have something to retrieve.
That's a shame. Okay, that's fine. Then I am... Yeah, no mechs, no nothing. I'm passing.
Alright, we are both passed.
So, you go to sleep. You stay awake. You go to sleep. You come back in here. And stay awake. You two both come back in and go to sleep. And then basically anything we visited gets flipped over because we can never use that space again.
Oh.
Did you construct? No, you didn't do that.
Oh,
you did that one, did you? You did that one.
No, I just did that one.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, and this one was done though.
No, I researched just down here.
Oh, I thought you did the perfect.
No, because I basically the super project didn't need anything. Or it could just take any shape.
And then we get our new ones.
One of each.
One of everything.
Scientist.
And then for the mine, it's going to be gold stays, the uranium moves up, and then replace a titanium.
Mm-hmm. And also replace a titanium, sorry, a neutronium. Uranium! Oh, good lord. And also these all go further forward. Oh, that's a fancy time travel.
Oh, that's a weird one to flip things. Each anomaly is worth 2 victory points.
Oh, that is weird.
It's almost like a cost mitigation there, since most of them are like -3.
Oh, and there's finally something that lets you actually change the damned all the
Right
dice.
Well,
Also, just like pay X to go that far back in time, like Uber.
Yeah, that is indeed cool.
Oh, that's the problem because I actually need a lab, and I don't like any of those.
Alright.
Ooh, but a scientist in the neutronium's not bad. Oh, but I can't build any more time machines because I've filled it up. Never mind.
Wait, no. Yes, because he built. That's what he did.
Okay, so we've organized everything for the preparation. Paradox. We're both each rolling once.
Yep.
1.
1.
Did you use roll or flip? Because that looked like...
I think I may have... Yeah, I didn't really... I thought I flipped, but...
Because I've done that... I...
No, that was a flip. It just was really lackluster.
Really? Because that's definitely the animation for roll.
Oh, no. Yes, I definitely... Okay. F is right below R. So...
That is... Yeah, I've hit that before.
Okay. It's the same result anyway. But...
Yeah, fair enough. It's all fine. Just keeping you honest.
I swore I hit R, but then I looked down at my finger and realized I was on the D for was, which means that I only went over to F.
Okay, so we power up some exosuits.
Yep, I have already placed mine actually.
Cool. I only have 1 warp core.
Far more than my nun.
Well, that's nothing wrong with your nuns. And then also, if you want to warp, this is the time to do it.
Yes, I will be warping at least 1.
Let me just decide what I want to do, because I need to decide what I want.
Did I do water for that? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Oh, that's what that. I was like, I have more workers than that. Where'd the last one go?
Okay. Need to quickly work some stuff out. Yeah, I am also warping. I'm warping 2. I'm going to get some water, and I'm going to get another mech suit. And am I still first player?
Yeah, I just haven't really fought you on it.
That is absolutely fine. I will... That is not as helpful as I would like. You know what? I'm gonna send I'm gonna pop an engineer in a mech suit and send him to the mine. And we're just gonna get some. We're gonna get gold and a titanium and a gold.
Alright. I will place a gene. Oh, get back in there. I am placing a genius into my mech here.
I'm going to place a scientist into my mech.
Actually, let me think. Actually, because I have to think about this carefully. Yeah, no, I am actually not going to do that. I apologize.
No, no worries.
Any twist of fate just to make sure it happens. I am sending my mech back in time.
That makes a lot of sense.
To make sure that happens. Go ahead.
Yep. I'm just deciding what I want to do. Can I, if I shift focus, can I go back in time and build a project and pay something off? Or can I only do one of the others?
How do you mean?
So, if I were to travel back 1, 2, 3 spaces and pay off that gold, could, whilst I was there, I also build the rescue pods?
I think it would have to be the next action, but yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it obviously can't be the same action because you'd have to go, because you have to still go through the build queue, don't you? Actually, I don't think, do you need to go back in time for those?
Oh god, I have no idea.
I think the super projects just get discovered in that time, but you don't have to be in that time to build that one.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So actually, that being, oh no, I could still build a super project. I'm just wondering if, like, actually, rather than try and get 2 uranium, 2 titanium, a gold, and 2 water, I suppose I could get. Actually, is it just easier to buy a thing, to build a thing? I don't know. I think it's more the fact that my options for labs are not particularly good right now. I need labs. I'm wondering if actually
it might just be best for the sake of evacuating to just settle
build one of the damn things. Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, settle for it.
Okay, I'll send my scientist out over to the mines, get 2 uranium.
Put a scientist into the past to put the 2 water I borrowed back.
Oh wait, I'm gonna put a scientist in the mech.
Okay. I'm passing, so you are set to just do whatever you need to do for the rest of the turn.
I have realized that I am a fool because I can actually go to this space, which lets me pay 1 less titanium and 1 less of anything else. So for my final spot, I will pay 1 titanium, 0 gold, and 2 uranium, plus 2 of them. And I will, like, I'm now in a situation where I can basically choose whatever die I want, but it doesn't particularly matter. Which also will let me do things later. So I can now spend water research to set the dice to whatever I want, which doesn't really matter. I can also use that remaining. Oh no, hang on, it's probably a better idea to. Okay. I'm at the very least sending a scientist to go into the lab to pick me up a water and a victory point. How many scientists do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugh. I can do that at the start of the next turn. I will also... Is this my last chance to pay off my gold and my titanium from where we are?
Given that's 3 spaces back, yes, this is your last chance.
Oh dear, I should probably do that then. Then I will hop into the past. I have not got the titanium, but I can at least give the gold back. And then I have 2 water. Which, do you know what? I'm gonna send this last genius to power my welfare society. Spend a water, improve morale to the max. I think that's, yeah, that's all I can do.
Alright.
Everything comes home. You go to sleep. You don't. You do.
Junction.
You do.
Oh.
Do. You don't. So I currently have just 2 active people.
just a room barracks full of people.
Yeah, we are all so tired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's the end of the world.
It is indeed. Right, in that case, not the end game. Next era, refill the mine. So, final mine. Lots of gold, lots of uranium, not much titanium. And a scientist, no engineers, 2 admins, and a genius.
No, that doesn't go there because it's the impact rate neutronium only on the top one.
Ah, right. Thank you very much. Good thought.
But it is two uraniums for the next one. Titanium in that last one.
Titanium in that last one. Also, we move forward. And Paradox, I have to roll 1. I get a thing. So all these move across. I have to roll... Oh, wow, I'm rolling twice.
Yep.
And I get an anomaly. I should have gone that. I was thinking, should I get that thing that lets me just score, lose some extra points for an anomaly? But no, I didn't.
Nope.
That is annoying. Okay, and then finally, power up exosuits.
All right, I will just be doing the full one as usual.
Same, and so I get 3 water.
As do I.
And we also need to decide if we want to ask for stuff from the future, which apparently still exists. We just don't know who's sending it back now.
Bit of an interesting situation. I will not be asking for anything.
I'm gonna ask for a bit more gold. And actually, I'm gonna ask for... No, I can't do that. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I can't do that. That would be silly. So I'm asking for a gold. And now we do things. So I am first player. And actually, this is really useful. This exo crawler has pretty much been a really good thing throughout. I'm coming from the wrong side. But it's coming in especially clutch now because I can move the scientist straight over to the evacuation.
I believe if you do the evacuation, you can take no more actions this turn.
Oh, is that... Hang on.
Yeah, I'm pretty... That's kind of the whole clutch of it, is you want to wrap up all your stuff as fast as possible before you do it. Otherwise, the first person would just always win.
The action space will only be available after the impact. It may only be taken by each player once per game, and only to make conditions. Place 1 thing on your lumbered slot on the tile. receive the victory points specified. If you place your path marker on the spot with blah, 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 blah. The path also addresses specific assets and releases. No, it doesn't say that you. Pathboard also addresses specific assets and nothing here suggests that. The action space will only be available after the impact. You can only do it if you meet the conditions stated on their path. Place one of your path markers on the uppermost free spot. If you place your path marker on the spot with a -3 victory points, you receive 3 less victory points for your evacuation. The maximum number of victory points that can be received for the evacuation action is 30. The path board also addresses specific assets and related victory point ratio. You receive additional victory points. After scoring, you keep these assets. The evacuation action can be taken by any worker. The evacuation has a hex pool space where any number of
workers can be placed. In that case, couldn't you just go there as soon as you meet the evacuation conditions?
Yes.
Like, even if it was like several turns before?
Yes. But you can only go there once per game. So there's so for me, I've been slowly building up to make sure I had. So basically, I claim by right of conquest, I guess, the first player thing.
I'm just confused now because then I have been under the other statement. Otherwise, I would have evacuated in previous turns because I met the conditions before the impact even happened. I'm like, oh, did I just fuck myself because Luxia didn't explain that right?
So I get 6 points. Maybe there's a variant. I also get 4 points for every 2 scientists and 3 breakthroughs. I have 3 breakthroughs. I have 7 scientists, so that is 12.
Yes, that sounds like 12.
It's possible it's a variant.
It's just I just remember there being a thing that you want to put that off as long as possible.
Well, I think it's probably because you want to get the bonuses. Like, you get extra points for every neutronium you have, and you've not got.
Yeah, I guess now at this point it does. Why? I only have the 1 mech, so not much I can do there. But anyway, so you've done your evacuation now. I'm just going to send 1 last scientist mech into the past to put back that gold I borrowed last turn.
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't think anything is coming from the past right now, because I've not really got much to send. But I'm going to send. Okay, actually, you know what? This works. I'm going to take a free action to crack the whip and wake everybody up, which reduces morale. But then I'm just going to send this administrator over to pay this gold into a bucket and get 6 water. Do you have anything you can do?
Yes, I have to put a clicker in the thing. One moment. I was just flipping through the rules manual. I'm going to put a genius into the mech.
Cool. I'm going to send an administrator in the guise of a scientist over to Welfare Society. Bump that morale back up. For 1. Oh?
Oh, I was just like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, okay, it's like, it's the AI mode. I was like, what is this action? You can't take that action in the game. It's like, well, the AI can.
Fair enough.
The Chronobot mode. That is my turn.
Okay. I'm gonna spend.
No, I was asking, is it my turn?
Yes, it is your turn. Sorry.
Okay, then we will put the evacuation up there. Which I guess gets me the -3.
It does, but you also get the points off your board. So in your case, you get
just the 6, because I evacuated and I have 1 neutronium on me.
I'm gonna send huge amount I need to actually do now. I'll kick you into a paradox. Or I can't because I don't have any resources to spend. That's a shame. Oh dear. It's fine. I guess this is just a bad time. Right, I'll take a water and a victory point though. Over to you.
I'm passing.
Okay, I'm gonna send someone back in time just to pay off some water. So you have been pretty good at keeping the timeline clean. I am going to suffer off that.
I have the maximum score actually for that. I made sure.
You do. Oh wait, hang on. How many? I think I might be a couple more ahead, but I've only got 6. And I will also send this into here to pay 7 water in order to just get 2 victory points. Translate into 5 spot.
Did you used the discount one, didn't you?
I used the discount. What? I didn't use either of those. Oh, sorry, that one I did use. The fix a cube, I did not.
Good thing you didn't, because the game would have actually ended last round if you had, or that when you did it.
Oh, is that also a?
Yeah, I was looking for this rule that Luxu mentioned, but I did end up finding that once the last collapsing capital title is flipped, the game ends immediately.
That might do it, but that is fair enough. Right, okay, so we have to now untangle the continuum. I am choosing not to. So I'm just gonna mark up that I lose 2 points for every warp tile I'm not able to remove, so 6 negative.
That hurts.
I mean, there are worse things, honestly.
There are worse, but
there we go. And then so how do we score this? So we score for buildings is top. So I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for my buildings. You?
14 for my buildings.
14, good lord.
Yeah, I went for the high price. I grabbed some specifically just because they were worth a lot of victory points.
Super projects, so I've got 12.
I have none.
Okay. Paradoxes, I still have 1, so I get -3 off that. Time spaces, I'm on 6.
I am on 16.
Nice. So I feel like we've both clearly gone for different strategies.
Yes.
Morale. So I'm on...
We are both at maximum.
Which is 6.
We're good to our people.
Is that just how many breakthroughs we have?
Yeah, I don't know how many... I think it's just 1 for each breakthrough.
That would make sense. Give me a second. Yep, breakthrough. So I think if it's just 1 for each breakthrough, I still got 3. Any for you?
No, I did not do any breakthroughs.
Okay, and then just any random victory points you've got lying around. I got 26.
Ching. I have 9.
So you kept a much cleaner timeline, but we've had a much wider variety of stuff. Right. So you get 3 points for having the most time travel potential.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move this down here.
Make it a little easier. I evened it out in the end. I did end up with more water than you at the end.
I can't move them. I think I have more buildings.
Yes, you have more tiles taken out. Mostly because of the super constructs.
The super constructs were really helpful. Is that just sheer number of people?
Yeah, number of workers. You definitely have that one.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's a 10th on the board somewhere. Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm sitting at like 7.
That's still only... Yeah, it's not too far off. Water... So you got that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 5 to my 1. And super projects, I guess.
Yep.
So...
I think you have it, but...
I think so. I'm just going to quickly do calculations.
Mm-hmm.
So plus 9...
All I can think of is those negatives might hurt you too much. That's the only way I could see it really going.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I think the 26 alone is probably popping me over the line.
What were those all from?
So a bunch of them were off my evacuation.
Ah, yes.
Like that was 12 plus 6 was 8. So that was 18 on its own.
Yeah, your evacuation is worth a lot more than mine.
I guess it depends really, because like if you think about it, you know, if you stockpiled neutronium heavily.
The problem is there's no easy way to stockpile it, is the thing. Because there's no... It's one of the nodes that doesn't always show up on the board.
Mm.
So it's totally possible it's not there, which is means the only way to get it is through the trading. TBH, the trading is incredibly inconvenient.
To be fair, actually, that being said, were there not ways to get it? Yeah, there was this thing. You could have spent a gold and a water to get a neutronium and a victory point.
Where at?
And there was also one. There was also the same.
I hadn't even noticed those ones as I was going through.
Yep, they've been there for a little while. So I think you could build this one from like turn 2 or 3.
I think I was more paying attention to the other ones.
I think I mean, to be fair, when you account for the different the minuses that I've accumulated, it's actually not that far apart a score.
No, we got close, and I admit I was also playing. I was playing a much what is, as Luxia has put, the infinitely far more complicated one than all the rest of them.
That is very fair. Yeah, I think I almost feel like that, like the whole paradox for water and water for paradoxes is an interesting one, and you definitely like the fact you didn't get a single anomaly is
that. Yeah.
To be honest, what you probably should have done. I'm not sure if this would have been as effective or helpful. Is you could have got that science one that let you score paradoxes for points.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate it came so late that I had already kind of established a canon to how I was working. But no, that could have been an absolute just play the whole.
Because the thing is, that also would have probably scored you some decent points for getting buildings. Because
would have given me I would have probably gotten the building award.
So actually, like, you know, it was moderately close. Like there were a few, like I say, this game has a lot of interesting choices, and all of them are pretty good. But it's really hard to know what one you want to go for at any particular moment.
Yeah. The other thing that really just screwed me was having no cores for the whole.
Yeah, like the fact that I had to just jump on a couple of geniuses to get cores because they're worth a lot.
Oh, and God, that evacuation also is my knowledge of the rules that hurt a lot too.
Well, that is a shame. I mean, as I
That
say,
is a shame.
I am more than happy for you to come back and avenge your loss
Eventually,
sometime down the line, or like in the past. As we have established, we are in fact streaming to the 20-something of
the October 19th.
that's the one.
It was fun though.
Yeah, there is a lot going on with that game, and I think I can definitely understand. I don't know, it definitely feels like one of those ones where it's, oh yeah, I was about to say quick to learn, lifetime to master, but it's like
It's more
moderate to learn.
Moderate to learn. It clicks. The flow of the game is really well done, and that once you have it, it's really easy to pick up.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of, like I say, I've mentioned a few times about grammar, like games having grammar, and this game is very thick with having lots of symbols, and even just looking at this player board, like there's so many symbols going on, which is really good in terms of minimizing how language independent it is. But it doesn't account for like the front end of actually learning that. And as you say, it's been a year since you've learned it. If you don't use a language for an extended period, then you don't necessarily have that instant memory. I think it's one of these games where actually, they facilitate this by having lots of modules, lots of alternate rules, lots of different ways to play. There's lots of different ways to play this game, which encourages replay, which is really good. But also, you need to run a game you put a lot of focus in to kind of get that fluency.
Yeah. It's a game with a remarkable flow, and I think it really plays to its credit.
Well, I really enjoyed it. I would love to have you back on, possibly get a few people playing it.
If you can get a hold of Luxia's difficult schedule, I'm sure they would be more than happy to give this one some more play.
I am sure that something can be arranged. But yes, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Your details for Bianca Duba are down in the description box below. So please do check her out on Twitch, but would you like to just generally plug yourself, who you are, what you do?
I'm just a variety streamer, largely on Twitch. I've kind of settled into a niche of a lot of RPG and quirky indie games. My big shtick is I do tarot card readings on stream.
Nice.
If you use the point redeem system on Twitch, you can actually get yourself free tarot readings through that. A big thing that just happened is I just announced the existence of V Spectrum, which is a indie VTuber team, kind of dedicated to creating a situation of addressing the problems with a lot of VTuber teams, and kind of putting in resources where VTubers need them most, through both collected resources through community building, and also a dedicated backstage team, as it were, who kind of help provide a lot of the resources for streamers how they need them. We opened up auditions yesterday, and those will be running through November.
Cool. And should people check out your Twitter for those?
Yes, check out Twitter, just same as usual, twitter.com/Bianca Duba. The links to the audition form are posted there.
Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining this evening. Thank you for introducing me to Anachrony, because this is definitely a game I want to spend more time with now. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I can understand why it's pretty well regarded. We will definitely be looking at playing this a little bit again. But in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you have, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out. Love to kind of push up to triple digits at some point. So please do share, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube things. You know how it works. In the meantime, this has been Board Game Go. I'm Loxley, Satyr of Strategy and the Board Game Goat. And this has been the really rather excellent. I'm ripping off on another YouTuber's shtick here. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. And we will see you next time. Or maybe we already have seen you next time. Anyway, ta-ra.